Alright, it's October 28th, 2018 here, and today is another episode of Soapbox Sunday, and guess what, everybody? This is our 200th episode ever. Wow. Just a few years in the making, and I can't believe I've put in the time to make 200 videos. And if you figure you've got 7 or 8 hours in each video, that's about 1,600 hours or so. That's about what most people work in a full-time job in a year. So I've fit in an extra full-time job over the last couple of years. How about that? All right, so for fun and giggles, I went back and watched my very first video ever in a celebration of this 200th episode. And man, have we came a long ways. So for those of you that are new, maybe haven't watched all my earlier videos, I certainly apologize. Those things were rough. Handycam, I was using no tripod, shaky video all over the place, horrible voice. But the content, hey, it was pretty good stuff there. The very first one here was this Magnavox tube console amp restoration. And I think that thing's still in use today somewhere around here in the Carolinas. It passed from a buddy to another buddy, I think. But I just wanted to say I'm sorry about some of the earlier videos. If you do go back to watch some of those, my production hopefully has gotten much better by this point in time. All right, next topic up. I don't know how many of you guys watch FranLaughs, but she does an amazing job at some pretty cool projects, and I've been watching her for a couple of years now, and she's struggling right now. Life's just been tough as of late. A couple things of interest there. One, the location she's in up in Philadelphia, they keep kind of renovating areas and pushing her out of the building she's in, and she's going through another episode of that right now as the city is developing. So in the middle of relocating at this point, but even more so than that, she's finding out that the YouTube algorithm is not being very kind to her as of late. A lot of people get their YouTube viewers via suggested videos. So in other words, you pull up YouTube and you're watching one video and it suggests another video, or you just go to the homepage of YouTube and it's got a lot of suggested videos for you there. And what she's found is, I think because she's not monetizing on YouTube, they've deprioritized her in her ranking of suggested videos, and it's significantly impacted her number of views and new subscribers and such. So anyway, just a shout out to FranLaughs, and hope things get better there. But the reason I brought that up is I've been looking a little bit into my analytics again. It's just an interesting thing. YouTube provides some pretty stellar analytics, and here's one that I've found lately that I thought was quite interesting. All right, here, this is the interesting statistic right up here. Check this out. The watch time from my viewers, 67% roughly comes from non-subscribers, and only 33% of my video watch time comes from my subscribers. I'm thinking, what the heck? I'm trying to figure that one out. So one of two things: either my subscribers really don't like to watch my videos, or I'm just blown away. I need to get more subscribers. So hey, if you're watching my videos, click down there, subscribe. Help me shift this. I'd like to see the subscribed be a little more than 33% of my view time here. A couple other interesting ones. The United States is dominating at 51%, then just a lot of little breakdown. No surprise here. 99.3% of my viewers are male, 0.7% female. Let's hype up the female interest in this hobby as well. I'm a big believer in diversity and inclusion, and even gender diversity brings different thought processes, and so it's a male-dominated hobby, I can tell you that. And then interesting here, you can kind of see the age breakdown as well. We're up here in the 29% is 55 to 64 years old. Scares me a little bit. Not a lot of new people jumping into this hobby, but there are a good bit of people here in the 35 to 44 and 45 to 54-year-old range. And if you add those two together, they get up close to 40-some% there, so not too bad. All right, just thought it was an interesting piece of knowledge. All right, check it out here. We won the KEG video contest. Well, win's a relative term. we came in third place, which is, hey, pretty awesome, actually. It put me into the prize bracket, and I want to say thank you to all my viewers who made that happen. You know, I was struggling a little bit with what video to make using Deoxit this year. I've realized I could game the system next year and maybe enter this contest in a little different way. It's really about the topic you pick, not about how cool or good your video is. So it's about the number of interested viewers out there you may pick up outside of your normal subscriber group. Anyway, I was needing to fix a key fob, something like one of these, for my wife's vehicle that had gotten gummed up. And I was using some Deoxit to do it, and I thought, well, heck, I'll just make a video on that. And apparently that's not a topic that 1 million people search for on any given day. But we had fun making the video anyway, and you guys supported me and voting for me, whether you thought it was a great video or not. So anyway, I won $250 in KEG products, and I need to reply to this vehicle. I actually got this on October 9th, so I've had a little while. I need to reply back saying, hey, tell them what to send me. So I think what I'm going to do is just have them send me a bunch of Deoxit D5. And when I get it, I'm going to sprinkle it into some of my videos. I'm going to give this stuff away to you guys. I've got several cans myself, and although we use a lot of it, I think sharing this back out with my community would be an even cooler way of kind of dealing with our our prize winning here. So yeah, we're going to share this stuff with you guys, and thanks again for helping win this. All right, when you enter the KEG contest, they typically run once a year, and you can only have one submission per person. But when you do enter, they will give you a prize just for entering the contest, whether you win or not. And it's about a $70 value prize. And this is what they sent me, this Deoxit technician kit. It looks like it's got a couple small cans of Deoxit of a couple different types and some wipes and different other things inside of here. So what I'm going to do with this, I've never opened it up. I'm going to give it away to you guys. So what you do is go down below in the comments section and give me a little comment either on why you need this or why you like watching my videos or whatever. Just give me some feedback down below. And about 2 weekends out from now, I'm going to do a random number generator based on the post down below, and I'll just count down from the top, and we will give this prize away to somebody. So give us some feedback, and we'll give this away. All right, just a little shop update here. So I posted a question to you last time on my KT88 single-ended amplifier build part 4. And I asked a simple question of, do you want me to go deep or do you want me to stay fairly high level? Because I got some feedback on my, I think it was 15 episodes or so of my single-ended 807 amp, that a lot of people just thought I went on and on way too much in depth, and that they'd much like to have seen maybe a 4 or 5 video series, or maybe even 2 or 3 versus 15. And so I posted the question to you guys, and almost unanimously, I mean, I'm talking like 100 people replied saying go deep, go deep, go deep, go deep, maybe even 200 or 300. And then I had 1 or 2 people saying kind of keep it at a higher level. So for you couple people that wanted higher, you lost out. We're going to go deep on this thing and make a lot of videos in this series. So I'm excited about it. It's my natural MO to go deep and explain every little thing, so it fits well with what I've got planned. So that's what we're going to do. Probably another week or 2 out on my next update on that one. Been going through some component layout. I spent some time contemplating doing a bus ground versus a star ground. And I did a bus ground in my single-ended 807. So I thought this time I might do a star ground, just to show the different techniques and how they both can work out great. And if you want to watch how to do a bus ground, go back and watch that single-ended 807 series. It's a really good series. All right, I thought I'd give a quick update on the E-Tracer project. Well, I haven't even opened the box yet. I haven't even opened the packaging on the box yet, so I haven't made it far. I made a commitment to you guys. I was going to get this KT88 further down the line before I picked up any other little side projects, so I'm leaving this thing on the shelf. It is my prize for getting the KT88 amplifier series done will be to open the E-Tracer. However, in the meantime, this guy here, Mike Glusha, and forgive me if I just messed up how you pronounce your last name. Anyway, he sent me an email a week or so ago, and he said, "Hey, I've been building this E-Tracer. I saw your video, and I inspired him to go out and buy one of these." And he said, "Hey, these little mounting the jacks that you have to mount in this thing are a total pain." And apparently he's got a little machine shop there at his house, so he made his own little tool for tightening the lugs on these things. And man, he was cool enough. He made me one too and sent it to me. So that's just a shout out and say thank you for that. And by the way, he got his unit done here, and he's been posting some test results out here on a matched pair of 45s that he did. And you know, he's happy with it. It got me excited. I'm ready to build mine. So that'd be a great like maybe Christmas video series for us here as the E-Tracer. All right, just a little update on the Quantasylum QA401 audio analyzer. I've got this thing hooked up. I've used some software on a laptop, and I've been playing around with it some, and I'm really happy with it. I'm not ready to make a video series on it, and here's why. The instructions that come with this are really not focused on the kind of DIY hobbyist, or I would say hi-fi stereo hobbyist. They are much more focused on a mass production line, somebody maybe testing car audio amplifiers or maybe headphone amplifiers, things of that nature. And so the instructions that come with it, this thing has differential inputs and outputs. The instructions that come with it are pretty lacking as it would come to telling you how you would hook this up for the average person that wanted to hook it up to like a preamp or a stereo amplifier. So I sent an email into Quantasylum about that, and the guy that actually runs Quantasylum or owns it emailed me back, and he said, "You know what, Mark, you're kind of right." And he said he's going to have his developers put some documentation together that would help the average person figure out how to hook this up and use it properly. And even cooler than that, I got to talking to him a little bit about my dummy load that I use and how to interface it with this. And they're actually developing a new product here called the QA450, which is a programmable 8 ohm, 4 ohm load. And it'll be a similar box about this size, I think. That will ultimately be a matching dummy load that will integrate with this and the software and whatnot. And you can see right here they've got it listed at $10,000. I don't think that's going to be the price tag. I think this is just a mock-up. It says details coming soon. This product isn't for sale yet. At any rate, they shipped me one this week. He said he wanted me to try one of them out and pair it up with this and see how it worked in an audio setup. So I'll have the QA450 here in a week or so. And we're going to play around with that some and see how the two of these pair up and see if that would be a great setup for somebody at their house that wanted a simple audio bench that could just buy two pieces of equipment, have both the audio analyzer and the dummy load all sitting there in one or two neat little packages. So stay tuned, more on that. I think it'll be a great Christmas series there as well. All right, one other little side project I do kind of have kicking around. Good buddy of mine, Jeremiah, came over last Sunday, and we sat around for a couple hours and kind of talked audio. And he brought with him a Scott 299D, and I'd never seen this amplifier before. He picked it up somewhere along the way. And Jeremiah had been on a journey to kind of restore it himself. And so he had used the hayseed capacitors, power supply capacitors, had done a really good job with those. And then he went through the whole unit kind of replacing all the coupling caps with orange drops, and he did a really good job on that as well. But he was having a problem where one channel is louder than the other channel, and we brought it in here and we hooked it up on the bench a little bit, and we put it up on the scope, started looking at it, and sure enough, I saw two problems. One problem was he had some crossover distortion going on that was pretty ugly. And then two, he had certainly an imbalance between the two. And he and I messed around, and we got rid of the crossover distortion. That one was a pretty simple little fix. But this imbalance, we played around for about an hour, did not get rid of it. And I told him, I said, why don't you leave it with me? And just in my spare time, I'll try to tackle this thing. But I thought it'd make a really good video series, and here's why. Because it's just one of those where you've got something on your bench and you just got to kind of start kind of dissecting this thing section by section and breaking it down and figuring out, does this section have the problem? Does this section have the problem? Oh, this section doesn't have the problem. So let's start here and kind of work your way forward and backward. It's in the amp. Measuring, or voltages equal here or there, whatnot. I think it's just a really good troubleshooting video. And so stay tuned. Sometime over the next couple weeks, I'm hoping to throw that one in as well, is how to troubleshoot a channel imbalance where one side of your amplifier is a little louder than the other. But more so than that, it'll be just a great troubleshooting 101 video. I'm pretty excited about it, so stay tuned. All right, here's a story within a story. So this week I'm cruising on Bartertown on Audio Karma, and that's a hidden subscriber only, cost you $25 per year to get to it. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. So if you like to buy vintage gear and or sell it, that's a great place to go, an alternative to eBay. I bought a pair of Quad 2 amplifiers on there this week for an incredible price, and I could tell many other stories like that in the past. So Audio Karma, subscribe, $25 a year, join Bartertown, you'll enjoy it. At any rate, found this for sale, Marantz 8B tube amplifier, and I scrolled down quickly, didn't read the text, and I started clicking on pictures, and I'm like, holy cow, this thing is nice and clean. This is a beautiful looking Marantz 8B, and then I see the price. I'm like, whoa, $2,200. I'm gonna send this guy a quick I'll take it, right? And then I get to reading. I always have to go back and calm myself down off the hype and go back and read the details. And I'm glad I did on this one. Here's the bad. It has a bad power transformer. And so I'm like, oh man, that's killer. So I sent the guy an email and I basically said, hey, I think the price you got's really great price for a fully functional unit, but for one needing a power transformer, might be a little high. So I made him an offer. And he kind of responded back to me saying, hey, appreciate the offer, but it's a little low for me right now. I'm trying to get a little more out of this amplifier. And hey, I totally respect his position. I don't blame him at all if I had one that looked this good. But that then sent me down to the next story within the story here. I thought, well, let me reach out to Gary at TRS, which is Transformer Rewinding Services. They're based out of Maine. And I've used them many times in the past. I went to Gary's website and I got a 404 error message. This website's not valid anymore. So I shot Gary an email, and come to find out, Gary has closed up shop, not in business anymore. So I remember seeing a few months ago on his website, he had a note saying something about his health had not been great, and thus it was taking a lot longer on his rewinds and whatnot. So, it kind of brought me back around to, holy cow, we just lost an icon in the industry. There are very few people that do transformer rewinds. And this guy was used not just by the audio industry here, he was used by ham radio guys and lots of other people, pro musicians, whatnot. If you happen to burn one of your transformers up for whatever reason, whether it's a choke, a power transformer, an output transformer, whatnot, you could send it to Gary, and for a somewhat reasonable price, usually in the $350-ish range, you could get a power transformer rewound. And So to bring it back to this story, I'm sitting here now looking at this thing going, well, wow, I was considering upping my offer back to this guy, knowing that I could ship it off, the transformer, get Gary to rewind it for probably, I'll just say $300-ish. And then I could, I kind of calculate that into the price of what I'd be paying, and I'd still come out with a nice Marantz 8B here. But now that I don't know who I would send it to, it's a game changer. I know the other guy I pointed out one time, Terry Kwok over, I think he's in Hong Kong, does some of this on the side. Then you got to ship this thing overseas and back. It's a different ball game. And so, I'm now in a place I'm not willing to go back and make a counter offer on this thing. So, it's kind of a bummer to have lost an icon like that in the industry. I'm not saying there's no one else out there that does it. I just don't know of anyone else. So if you guys know of some other places that do, rewinding, let me know. It'd be good to put into the Rolodex, and I'd be glad to share it out with the other viewers because they may run across the same thing in the future as well. So, any rate, I just wanted to say thanks to Gary for all the years he put in and rewound transformers for people, and I hope your health's okay and you're just kind of moving on to the next chapter in your life at this point in time. And hopefully we'll find somebody else here at some point that does these services for us. So thanks, Gary. And I'm going to call that a wrap this week for Soapbox Sunday, and I hope people are still enjoying these little tidbits of knowledge here and there, or the random stream of consciousness off of my head, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for watching, everybody.